name is JC Villafan. I'm a singer-songwriter from Los Angeles, California. And if I can describe my music in three words, it'll probably be uh, soulful, uh, positive, and maybe interesting. Somewhat. My dad was training classically in I guess in university, and he trained for his voice. And he never really played music as far as like an instrument, but he has always sang. I come from a long line of singers, I guess. My grandma sings, my great grandmother sings, and I guess her grandmother sang. So yeah, we just kind of have an extensive line of singers, and I'm kind of the first generation to pick up an instrument and play it a lot. I would say so because music was something that I just decided to do on a whim. I saw a commercial about a guitar. It was like an infomercial about a guitar on sale, so I wanted it, and my dad bought it for me. And I just picked it up and I started playing, and I started playing along to songs, and it just came to me. I practiced a lot, and it wasn't really too hard, but there definitely was a lot of excruciating practice to be needed, I guess. Yeah. About 4 years ago, when I was 16, I had played in a group and we went on tour for 2 weeks. And that moment, being so young, I was the youngest one on that tour. Everyone else was about 20 plus. And that moment, I knew that I really wanted to be able to travel and play music. And our music, likewise, as it is today, for me, it was about affecting people positively and making, I guess, more than just a surface impact. So that sort of mentality kind of sunk in when I was 16. So, and I've just been trying to work at it since. Yeah, this experience was very interesting. I started playing with this group when I was 13, and the guys were about 4 or 5 years older than me, so they were like, no, I should take that back, just 4 years older than me. So they were like 17, and as we kept growing up, we kept playing and playing bigger venues, and traveled, and we really had something going. And unfortunately, we ended up breaking up last year, in the beginning of the year, kind of like in December, January of last year. And that's when I decided to start taking part in my own career, and taking the reins with my own music and stuff. So that experience taught me a lot. It taught me a lot of stuff that I know now, and I wouldn't change it for anything. It really didn't create the person that I'm supposed to be now, I think. So it was great. Uh, you know, like I said, last year, in 2011 was the first year I started writing and pursuing my music. I did have a few songs that are on that mixtape that I wrote when I was like 16 years old or something like that. But a lot of that just kind of drifted on and transferred over to what I started doing. And when I produced that, it was kind of a few months into my music career, my solo music career, and I didn't really have too much in mind, to be honest, because at the time when I was doing it, I was just more about experimenting. It actually came off as a pre-production session for a bigger producer that wanted to hear my music, and they wanted to see if they would pick me up and work with me. So fortunately, they are going to work with me, but I decided to release it because it was going to be a while until the producer was going to be able to take on my material and start working with me in the recording studio. So I figured, why not just release it and see what people think about it? And I guess I got a pretty good vibe, pretty good feedback. It was the first project that I recorded and produced on my own, and I think for what it was pretty good. I would definitely change a lot of stuff if I had a chance to re-record it, but for what it was and for the amount of time I had to do it, I think we finished it in about a week and a half. and I pretty much played it, almost everything. I had a part in everything in that, so it was a lot of fun for me. I think Jason Mraz is great. I think he's brilliant. I think he has an amazing voice. It's very soft, very high tenor, and I think it's really nice. And Bruno Mars, I love Bruno Mars as well. His songwriting skills and all that he does, because he's not just a songwriter artist per se. He produces music, he writes for other people, and that's something I want to look forward to as well. I personally am inspired by artists like Bill Withers, artists much like like Justin Izuka, I mentioned before. He's a partial inspiration, and so is Alan Stone, because of his attitude towards his music, in and out of the music itself, and the way he carries his music for the past 3 years. He's just been very grassroots, nonstop touring, and it's I remember him when I tried booking a show with him, and he was down in town, and not too many people knew about him, and now he's around the world and everywhere, and I think it's great. He's a great example for independent artists, much like myself. Well, I don't write songs as often as I should, to be honest. But when I do, a lot of times it's just kind of when I'm driving on the road, or maybe when I'm walking my dog or something. I just get this idea, and I have, for the past month, I had maybe about 300 voice memos on my phone of me just humming ideas, singing out lyrics. And what I do is I kind of go back and I listen to those, and I kind of recall, because I got so much going on in my head all the time that I need help, filing these ideas in a certain place. Otherwise I forget them. So I just go back and I recall that moment, and I start writing on them. I start creating music for them. And my biggest reason for playing music is because I want to be able to affect people positively through my music. And I think that's the best thing anyone could choose to do for their music, because music carries so much weight in people's lives that why not inspire people to be better people? Why not inspire people to do better at their work, to be better parents, to be better sons, children's, just to be, an example to make the world better, or at least the world around you better. And that's my hope through my music. My favorite thing about California is the weather. The weather's nice. It's never too cold, never too hot. And I've recently started surfing. Last summer I started surfing, and I love surfing. It's really cool. The atmosphere, it's almost like a Nashville, Tennessee here, where everyone plays music. Everyone's musically inclined, so you can go to a club and play, and you'll have people maybe singing along, or if they have instruments, they'll come up. I've had a couple opportunities where I've just invited people to come up and play with me on stage, and they've done it, and it was just a great spontaneous time. So I think that's what I love most about California. I know that there's a lot of places around the world that have that same experience, but I've found that here, and yeah, it's my home, I guess, is really what it comes down to. So it's nice. I do have a few shows coming up this month. I'm trying to play out away from, my area, from LA, as much as I can right now. And the shows that I am playing in LA are just being offered to me, and I try not to turn down any opportunity to share my music. So, but what I will be doing is booking a tour with my full band in the summer, and just hitting more venues versus coffee shops. And before I book that tour, I'll be just traveling to these different cities, trying to build a smaller fan base. And then once I come in with my band, hopefully a lot more people show up. And I am currently writing new music. I am currently revamping my stage performance, and just the different things I do, different nuances or whatever. And I'm kind of taking it to a different level. So I have maybe about 4 new songs that I've written, and when I start working with this producer, like I mentioned earlier, we're probably going to record those, and it's gonna be so awesome. It's gonna be fun, and it's gonna sound so good. So I'm really excited for all you guys to hear it. I would recommend listening to Ben Carroll, Bencarroll, and I performed with him at Wits End about a month ago, and he blew me away. He was so good, and I've been trying to get in contact with his manager. So Ben, if you're listening. And also Lit Odom is a guy I just played with a little while ago, a couple weeks ago, and he blew my mind. The guy's so good, amazing voice, soul pop singer. He actually covered Alan Stone's "Unaware" when I saw him, when I performed with him. He did a pretty good job at it. So other than that, his original music's really good, and yeah, check him out. Lit Odom. His name is Littodom.
I never would have thought that being away would be the hardest part. You see, my heart is growing.